guys, welcome back to the Scratch Golf Show. Depending on when we drop this, we're going to be on episode maybe 19 or 20. Not sure, depending on the date. As usual, before we get into our guest, a couple of quick housekeeping items. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, we're on the road to 500 subscribers for the end of the year here on the Scratch Golf Show. Big goal for us. Like I said, hit subscribe below. Shout out to our sponsors, as always, Core Chiropractic and Performance Center, local family-owned business here in Michigan. If you're local to the area like our guest, check them out, corecpc.com. They offer chiropractic, rehab, sports performance. I saw Dr. Billy last week after a long fall golf season, had me feeling great. So make sure you see them and mention the Scratch Golf Show upon arrival to receive a discount on your first appointment. And then Breakfast Ball Golf Sim, our newest golf simulator partner, going to be filming some cool stuff there this winter. Check them out. Link in the description, and that's it. So, like I said, guys, let's get into it. Cool one here, another Michigan creator. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll recognize the mayor of Tempo Town, good open winner, Ashton Gaulin. Ashton, welcome to the show, man. Really excited to get this one done.
Howdy, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's been a long time coming. I know we were just talking, but we've been planning this for a while.
Yeah.
So funny story, guys. I wanted to share this before we get into it. So I met Ashton. Obviously, I've followed him for a while, just being a Michigan guy, just following his content after he won the Good Open. And earlier this summer, I was flying back from my honeymoon, and in the Atlanta airport, we had a red eye. And getting on the plane with my wife, we're sitting there. All of a sudden, I see this guy walk down the aisle. I did a double take. I was like, hey, I know him. I recognize him. And so I saw the Tempo Town hat that you're wearing, that your camera guy was wearing. I was just like, hey, I like your content. Long story short, I saw you at the baggage claim at like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, honey, should I go talk to, I know that guy. Should I go talk to him? And we talked about getting you on then. That was back in June. And you were on your way back from filming with Micah, which was super cool.
Right.
And here we are, a few short months later. But a funny story that how we got this set up. I always love just the content world and the crazy kind of stuff that happens, and the people you see and meet, just right place, right time type of stuff.
Yeah, no, the golf content space is so niche and so tight.
Yeah.
That you run into people you know or know just through social media just all the time. It's so random. It's so funny.
Yeah. So obviously you've been growing your channel and brand for a while, because I know you're obviously on YouTube. We'll link all your socials in the description as well. But do you get recognized more in public, the more you go out and film at courses, or just in general? Obviously, you're in the area, so people from your city know you, but do you just get recognized more just from fans doing content, similar to how we kind of experienced that on the airplane?
Yeah. It's started to become more and more. The more that I do things, obviously, the more that I get noticed. But it was really after the Desert Open when people started to kind of figure out who I was. Obviously, local, I'm known by all my high school golfers, and it's such a niche thing. But when I go to golf courses that are out of my state or anything, it's here and there if people will recognize me, depending on age groups and stuff like that. But yeah, it's growing. It's constantly getting more and more, but it's such a fun thing. Seriously, the fan aspect of everything that we do is the coolest. Meeting people, running into people in airports, golf courses, it's just such a cool thing.
Man. It's been awesome. It's been cool to see you grow, and like I said, it's almost like when I had Melosi on, he was talking about when Grant posted the video with Tony Finau. He was like, people are stopping to take pictures with Grant instead of Tony Finau, which is wild. I mean, it just shows how much in the last 4 years YouTube golf has kind of had an impact on the game and what it's done, which has been really, really cool. And a ton of people are getting into the game. Like you said, you get recognized, and I'm sure, like you said, that's the cool part of doing what you do and filming content.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just especially when it's kids.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're all doing it for, right? Is to grow the game, and it's just such a cool thing. I never would have thought I'd ever be in a position like that, but it's incredible.
Yeah, man. For sure. Well, let's get into it. I guess let's start before you got into content, before you became the mayor of Tempo Town. Tell me your story, man. How did you start getting into content? Where are you from? How you got into golf? And then we'll get into the college golf aspect, but I kind of want to just start from the beginning, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So my career of golf started since I could walk.
Yeah.
I've been playing since I was 4. I played in a summer league up until I was when you start freshman year, like 14,
14,
15.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I played in a summer league, so I'd play like 5 to 10 times a summer, if that. Nothing really competitive. And then I finally played my first like tournament in high school, and I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I was on the
Yeah.
JV team. I was like, really need to like grind this out. So
Yeah.
played varsity sophomore through senior year. Senior year got cut off by COVID because I'm a
Okay.
2020 graduate.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be playing golf at Northwood University up in northern Michigan,
Midland. Yeah.
Midland, Michigan. Yep. And then I got cut off for that because of COVID.
That's
And then that's what got me to play at Mott Community College.
yeah.
Because I was like last option, go there. And that was actually the best 3 years I could have possibly had. The team there, the coaches, everything was incredible. And that's where I kind of started making my content.
Yeah.
And I solely did it in order to like get a few $100 here and there for like
Yeah.
NIL or something like that. Right?
Right. Yeah.
So the story I always tell is January 1st of 2023 is when I posted, or I like dedicated to posting every single day for a year on TikTok to
Yeah.
see if I could make that NIL money, right?
Yeah.
From there, it like skyrocketed. The name of the mayor of Tempo Town came from my comment section, and I took it and I just ran, dude.
Nice. I love
And
that.
like on TikTok by March I was at like 10K. By April I was at like 35, and it just kept getting bigger and
Yeah.
bigger. Yeah, it was, and then that was like where it all kind of started. Was really me just trying to make a few bucks on some NIL deals.
Hey, here
It's a
you are,
pretty
man.
interesting story, but
No, it's cool
yeah,
because a lot of the stuff and like I mean I'm sure you hear it a lot too and like I mean I've been doing this only 6 months ish, right? Still relatively new, but still really cool what I've been able to do. Like a lot of the stuff and advice you hear, I'm sure you get these questions like how do I start? Like how do I grow my brand? Like how do I get 60,000 followers? Like first of all, it doesn't happen overnight. Like
right,
I've evidenced that this is hard to grow, but also it's just like just start doing it and you just post every day or do it for a year. Like for me it's not posting so much because I'm not trying to do it for the content, more just to kind of do and grow my brand. Is like me it's like 100 videos, like do 100 videos and see where I'm at 100 videos, and you'd be amazed to see the progress you do once you just do it. And like a lot of people just don't want to do it, and then once you're into it, a lot of people quit because they're not doing it right, like getting views right away. But like it takes a lot of work, and over time, like you said, do it for a year, and you'd be amazed to see the results. So that's a cool story,
yeah,
knowing I can relate a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that who maybe are thinking about starting content or do content and maybe kind of stop because they're not getting views. You never know what can happen. Like I said, post every day, get out a video a week, whatever it is, and you never
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So
no, it was like the one New Year's resolution that I
yeah,
stick to. It was like the one that I'd ever actually like done, right?
yeah,
And this came out of it. So
that's awesome.
um, it was a really cool thing, and it's become such a cool thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
social media is solely dependent. All three platform, all however many platforms, the
right.
big three, right, are solely dependent on consistency. If you're not
Yeah,
posting once a week on YouTube, if you're not posting 3 to 7 times on Instagram and like 7 days a week on TikTok, nothing's gonna happen.
yeah.
It's it's crazy, so
No,
crazy.
for sure, man. It's cool. And like I said, a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Um, are you full time content? Like, do you do any like side work at all? What does that look like for you?
No, so I was in college
Right.
until this past June. I was living up in Saginaw. I went to Saginaw Valley.
Yep.
And come this year, this was supposed to be my last year. I was a fifth year, finishing my bachelor in business.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to kind of, I don't want to say drop out. It's not the right word,
Put
but
it on hold.
drop out in a sense. Yeah, put it on
Yeah.
hold. Because I feel that if I don't put like 100% of my opportunity or 100% of my efforts toward this opportunity that I have, I
Yeah.
feel that in 2 or 3 years I'm gonna hate myself. Right?
Yeah. No, for
Like
sure.
if I take the next year of sitting in class for 40 hours a week and not put that 40 hours towards content,
Yeah.
I'm I'm ruining gigantic opportunity that I have.
No.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. I mean, credits will come back to me if I fail in a year or two, but
Yeah.
who knows? I'm kind of just on a road of like, we'll
Figure
see
it
what
out.
happens type of thing.
No, well, you're young enough where it makes sense, and like, dude, honestly, like, I thought about doing content for the longest. I mean, years, like 2 years, 3 years. Like, I've been super like before I was in YouTube golf. I watched Fortnite, right? I mean, that's where I kind of
Yeah.
got my YouTube journey started, and like, I've always been fascinated with YouTube and the algorithm and all that stuff. And so, golf is my second love. You know, or golf is my main love outside of my wife. You know, honey, don't kill me. But you know,
Good
so I
save.
put two
Good
and two
save.
together. But you know, it's just like it's crazy from from that aspect, just from like the content perspective. And you know, I agree. I think it's really cool what the world is of content is doing. But you know, anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, so let's talk a little bit about you. You mentioned you do a good amount of TikTok. You do short form, long form content, YouTube, Instagram, all that.
Yeah.
How do you spend a majority of your time? Do you focus more on long form? Do you focus more on short form? Do you focus more on TikTok, YouTube? What does that look like for you?
Um, as of right now, so this summer when I started my series and I was playing golf a lot more and
Yeah,
making it for YouTube, um, I was spending a lot more time on long form content, and that's where my
yeah,
kind of my short form. 'Cause I do all this myself, so
okay,
I don't have a team behind me. I don't have anything like
yeah,
that, so it does get extremely difficult. Um, but I was spending most of my time editing my YouTube videos. I was such a perfectionist in that aspect that like I would sit on a single YouTube video that should only take me like 30 hours. I would sit there for 50 and like try my best to make it absolutely perfect. And I'd
yeah,
still hate it when I posted it, right? But that's where most of my summer and kind of my most of my time went in the past couple months.
yeah,
But I do spend a lot of time on short form content, whether it's coming up with ideas, editing those short videos, that kind of thing. But my goal is to have most of my time be spent on long form content because that's what I
yeah,
enjoy making. I love highlighting golf courses. I love
yeah,
playing matches. I love playing with other people. It's a different aspect, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And I think the long form stuff that you put out is really awesome. And some of
Thank you.
some of your really cool stuff that I love, obviously being a Michigan guy, is that you did the Chasing Summer series, which you've debuted on your channel. And we'll link Ashton's channel in the description, guys. If you haven't watched it, make sure you subscribe to him.
Yeah.
But you've done some really cool stuff, and it's really impressive that you do it all yourself. You know, like I said, a lot of these bigger time content creators, content creators like the Good Goods. I mean, you've seen the Good Goods. I mean, it's a full scale operation, which makes me respect here what you do even more and how you've consistently grown your videos and brand. But like I said, you do a lot of that really cool chasing summer stuff. That was really awesome. You've done some cool collabs. Like I said, when we met, you were filming with Micah. Do you have any like collabs that you've maybe done recently or coming down the pipe that you would be willing to tease maybe for the winter?
Yeah, planning to do some stuff down south. I'll give states in general like Florida and Texas. Um, that's kind of my goal is to
Yeah.
get down there for the winter because obviously we can't do anything, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my goal, and obviously there's people in those states that I'm hoping to play with,
Yeah.
and maybe create some good content and get things
Yeah.
growing. But that's like I like to save the travel for winter because I
Yeah.
can spend time in Michigan
Right.
during the summer. But my ultimate goal, like if I could say like my number one goal is to find a way that I can live in Michigan for 6 months and live somewhere south for 6 months. That's
Yeah.
like the one thing on my mind right now is get there. That's how
Yeah. Said
I
every
gotta do that.
Michigander ever.
Yeah, I gotta do that
Yeah.
somehow, any way possible. Yeah,
No, for sure, dude. I feel that, and kind of tying back to what you were talking about earlier, and I want to talk about it. I just completely lost my train of thought, but like
yeah,
you're kind of at the age where you're young enough where you can do it. Like, dude, like I said, I've grown YouTube. Like my passion got into Fortnite and YouTube. Like I regret not starting a channel in 2020. Like I was single back then, which helped, right? I've since been married. I'm 30 now, so like I'm running. I don't have as much free time, or it's just time of left before I'm at a different stage of my life to do stuff like that. So
right.
I fully recommend, do it while you can, like travel while you can, like do it while you can because you're not going to get time back. And like you said, I always regret not starting early enough. Like I always tell people, and I've told my other guests, like I said, I wanted to do this for such a long time. My wife, I always told her like I was going to do it, and I've always talked about it. And then she finally told me just shut the fuck up and just do it already.
Right.
And that was in like April of
Yeah.
this year. And so like I said, man, yeah, like you're at the point young enough where you could do that and travel and like and true like and the point is like you've met a lot of cool people, like you've built relationships where you can go and like plan a trip of like going to Florida, and there's obviously a good amount of creators in Florida. Grant, Micah, and a few in the bunch, and then Texas. I mean, good. I mean, you pick your poison in Texas of
Yeah.
where you've got, and so yeah, man, it's super cool to see. And like I said, I think you're doing it right personally. Like, I think you just like realizing that like one, you've grown your brand to a point where you can kind of take that risk of doing it yourself, but also realizing like, look, I've got a really cool opportunity in front of me. I only get one life. Like I may regret this in 2 to 3 years, or if I don't do this right now, I may regret this in 2 to 3 years. And that's
Exactly.
kind of where I'm at. And the J&A guys, like Johnny, came onto the same thing. It's like if I'm 80 and look back on this, am I gonna like hate myself? It's like yeah, probably if you didn't do it. So just do it, right? And
Exactly.
you see what happens.
Exactly. And me, John, and Ashton have had that conversation before. They're the youngest people in the space as we speak. So
Yeah,
everybody aspires to be their age,
yeah,
and I mean they're so smart for starting as early as they did.
yeah,
But it's one of those things that I was like there's almost zero risk with me doing this,
yeah.
where I'm not paying anybody. I'm not, besides
Right,
losing money on the side of travel and stuff like that, there's
right,
almost zero risk to doing this.
right.
But the risk was that my mom would hate me if I dropped out of college.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna
well,
say how's that been? Like
yeah.
obviously, we don't gotta get too much into specifics if it's a sore subject, but
No,
have
it's
your
not.
parents
It's
been
not.
super supportive of it, and have they
Yeah,
been like
my parents are extremely supportive of everything I do, and
that's awesome.
I was living in Saginaw when I went to Saginaw Valley, and I'm back home now, so I'm living at
Okay.
home. Like I said, my goal is to move down south and have the
Yeah.
place to myself, kind of 6 months type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, super supportive. They've supported everything I've done, and they believe in
That's
the
awesome, man.
general goal. So
Yeah.
it's
Cool. Yeah, dude,
it's
like you're
good.
talking about, like that's awesome. I think John and Ashton said the same thing. It's cool, like that you guys come from like my parents are my support system, man. My mom, my dad watch all my videos. Shout out
Right.
mom, dad, love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be here without my parents. But that's awesome, man. That's cool that they're supportive because, like you said, it can be a double edged sword of just like most parents, and the credits are their own. They want to go to college, get your degree, and then kind of go that route. But that route's not for everybody, especially in
Yeah.
today's day and age.
I hated
Do
it.
you talk to those? Do you talk to? I know you've done some videos with J and A. Are you pretty close with those guys? Because I know they're up in the Saginaw area as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I got a lot closer with them when they were when I was in Saginaw, and
Yeah,
we talked a bunch. They helped me a ton. So Ashton is like a editing, or both of them are like
yeah,
editing geniuses, right? Their
yeah,
videos are such high quality, it's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
So they've helped me a ton because I had zero background.
yeah,
I know nothing, right? They've helped me a ton in that aspect. But yeah, we've become good friends, and I'm hoping to play with them maybe once it warms up sometime in, like, I don't know, whenever it gets warm.
April next year at this point.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of.
exactly.
Yeah. No, dude, I can speak to that. Johnny, I haven't talked to Ash a ton outside of
Yeah,
at the time recording this. We're gonna get him on soon, but Johnny has been very helpful to me, and it's cool because like they're obviously huge on YouTube, and like
yeah,
for them to take time out of like to help somebody small like me, and Johnny is like always like text me questions about thumbnails, like
yeah.
and so they've been super cool.
That's
That's
exactly
awesome.
where I was.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
both of them, like, I for the first at least, I don't know, 5, 6 videos I posted on YouTube, I would just call them and be like, "You like this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Their thumbnails are so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gassing up John and Ashton, but
No, it's
everybody
cool.
everybody in the space can agree with me that like
Yeah.
their thumbnails are so good. Even
Yeah.
Grant said it. Their thumbnails are so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, no, I agree. They are, and I've been running some stuff by him about some of the bigger guests I've had on, and no, I agree. No, it's cool, man. We got a nice
yeah,
little tight knit group of Michigan creators here who
yep, the
can help
Midwest,
each
baby,
other out. I'm not
the
on your
Midwest.
guys' level yet, but I'm getting there.
You'll get there, dude. You'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm still 6 months in. It's gonna take
Yeah,
time. I
yeah,
know that. Like I said, I do this as a passion project. If it turns
yeah.
into anything, great. And I'm kind of at that point in my life where I'm just looking for a hobby, and this kind of fell into my lap,
Right.
which is
Yeah, that's
super
good.
cool.
It's always good to have hobbies.
Yeah. Well, dude, let's talk a little bit about something that kind of helped. I don't want to say springboard, but change your career. You mentioned you touched on it earlier, winning the Good Desert Open with the Pause King Ben Crouper. So
Yeah.
I just want to talk about that week. Like, I mean, what was that week like? How was it playing in front of people? Like, were
Yeah.
you afraid you're gonna kill somebody? And then we'll
Yep.
get into you winning it and the post effect of it. But I just want to talk about that week in general and see where the conversation takes us.
Yeah. Do you want me to touch on like how me and Ben met, or is that going to
Yeah,
be?
yeah. I was going to. Yeah, I was going to ask as a follow up, but we can start there. Yeah. So, how did you and
Yeah.
Ben meet? Because I know that was like, if I remember correctly, it was like 3 or 4 weeks before that you guys decided to play
If
together, right?
if that. Yeah. If
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So the year started 2024. Me and Ben both signed. Like we had our first phone call together about Wilson when we both signed.
Yeah.
Um, that was like the first conversation we ever had. And then middle of January, like 2024, Wilson flew out, myself, Ben Crouper, and then some of their tour pros, right?
Yeah.
That was the week I got hit by Kiz.
Yeah. We'll get into
Yeah,
that.
we can get to that.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But that was the first week that me and Ben like actually like met each other in person and actually like talked and played a
Wow.
couple rounds together.
Yeah.
Got pretty close. Had a good time in California, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, Good posted that they're doing this Desert Open, and I instantly texted Ben. I was like, "We gotta have Wilson like get us out there, right?"
Yeah.
So me and Ben both texted our contacts at Good, and like they were like, "Yes, of course we'd want you." But
Oh yeah.
the week getting there, tee times were released. We realized that we were gonna be playing during the day,
Yeah.
actually, like while the sun was still up, and then the 3/4 of our round would be at night, and then, but we got the worst week Arizona had ever seen as far as weather goes. It was
What?
50 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
That was like the first time in history that Arizona had ever seen that.
Yeah.
So the first day we go out for a practice round, it's blowing like 45, gusting. It's like insane. And we're like, this is going to be hard. Like somebody might have to shoot like 5 under to win this thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if this keeps up. And then next day, like I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, like this whole thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the hotel room, just like I'm a very jittery person. Like if you just look at my
Oh
hand
yeah.
in
Same
general,
way. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always shaking, right?
Yeah.
The first tee shot at the Desert Open in front of 2,500 people standing on a tee. Thank God I had a wedge in my hand because somebody would have been dead. Like it, I
Yeah.
I actually don't remember. So for the Desert Open and the Midwest Open, I don't remember the first tee shot. I
Nerves
have
are real.
a complete blank memory in my mind of like what happened.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that like you never experience that until you're there. And
Right.
then you're there and then you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So thank God I had a 50 degree in my hand, and I just kind of 3/4 one to the backside of the green. And we
Yeah.
made the sketchiest par, like a 6 footer that I lipped out and he had to make.
Yeah.
And then that's where like, so wait, hole one, we parred. Hole two, he stuck to like 2 feet, we birdied.
Then you
And then
eagle
hole
three,
three, I
right?
made like a 35 footer for eagle. And then the
Yeah.
hole looked like a basketball hoop. So
Yeah.
like everything started going in. He made like a 75 footer on the next hole. A few holes later, I made like a
Yeah.
20 footer. Like just the ball just kept going in the hole, and it was incredible. Once we came in at 9 under, we were like, okay, that's a good score. Looks like people are playing well, playing through the night. And then we got some pizza, sat in the clubhouse for about 2 hours waiting for the last group to come in. And by the time they got to like there's 14 holes. By the time they got to like hole 12, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, start getting ready for some press and like
Yeah.
preparing yourself for what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, from there, it's like just so insane.
Yeah.
The night that we won was just so cool. We got to spend it all with his girlfriend that was there. My girlfriend was there. We had our whole Wilson team that was there. Like
Oh, yeah.
everybody was, it was so awesome. And then getting to meet everybody at the end, the people that I have looked up to my
Right.
entire life. Like
Yeah.
Garrett Clark, for example, I've been watching him since I don't know, his second video ever.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But meeting him and having him hand me a trophy on live television is like, I was like, "Ooh,"
Yeah.
like I was like a little kid. It's like,
Right.
it's the
No,
coolest
dude,
thing.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it from that perspective. It's cool you say that because I feel like a lot of people who say this, and I'm sure if we ever get Garrett, hopefully I'm gonna get Garrett on before the end of the year. I'm working on it
right.
from on the backside, but I get it, dude. Like it's so cool because like Malosi said the same thing. He's like when Garrett started liking my post, like I was like. Like he's like I took screenshots. It meant so much to me. I'm like, dude, I
Yep.
can resonate because like, dude, like I don't have a ton of followers, but like when Johnny followed me, or like when you followed me, or when Malo, like when those guys follow me, like I do
Yeah.
take screenshots. Like that is cool. Like it's
Yeah.
cool
No,
that like
exactly.
they're like people you watch now, and are talking to and
Yeah.
interacting with. So I get that from that perspective. And then for people who didn't watch it, so it was 9 under, 14 holes, par three, par four. Right there was like 2 or 3 par fours.
Yeah. Something like that. I think there was 3 par 4s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so 9 under on a par three course is pretty freaking good from that
Like I said,
perspective.
we didn't miss a putt outside of
Yeah,
15 feet. So it
yeah,
was unreal.
yeah,
Absolutely
dude.
unreal. And
Yeah,
then
so are
complete
you?
opposite story at the Midwest Open. Dude,
Hey, you can't win
I
them
think we
all.
missed a couple 3-footers there. It was
Yeah,
like, it's
you
bad.
can't win them all. You
No,
can't win them all.
definitely not. But we got a 50% record. So,
Yeah, exactly. 1 for 2. Can't take
yeah,
that away from you. And then
exactly.
you go for the third one.
Exactly.
Are you and Ben still pretty close? Do you? I mean, obviously you guys are both still with Wilson, but
Yeah.
do you guys still like talk on a regular basis?
Yeah, we try to. I mean, he's super busy. He's
Yeah,
blown
yeah,
up and he's doing his thing. But um, when we do our Wilson shoots, we're always there together and
yeah.
stay in touch here and there. But dude, he's blowing up and he's going off. So
Yeah, good for
super
him.
happy for him.
Hopefully, get him on soon. Yeah, yeah. I know he's out in Virginia with Dodd King, and they're
Yep.
doing the thing down there. So yeah, good for him. And he's pure, man. I mean, I know you guys both have smooth swings, but I mean, I know he gets glazed all the time about how good his swing is, but it's
Dude,
true, pure.
it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's
So
unreal. Coming from like I'm a scratch golfer.
yeah,
I've never claimed to be like an insane golfer or anything like
yeah,
that. Dude is actually insane.
yeah,
He's a really good player. Like on
yeah.
his bad days, he's pretty good, and on his good days, he's really good.
Really,
Right?
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
And it's cool to see it in person. But so let's talk a little bit about post win, right? So
yeah,
like obviously like that. I mean, I feel like I'm not saying like I don't want you to take offense to this, but like that week kind of like changed your career, like had
yeah, no,
major
definitely.
implications on your career moving forward. So what like how does that happen? Like what was that week after like how has your career changed since then? And like what do you think that week did for like your career as a creator?
Right. I think that week, try and put together some words here. That week very much so boosted my career and got my name on
Yeah,
the board, right? So now people know of me
yeah,
and know me through that. Uh, what am I trying to say here? Like the content afterward was like when I really realized that like okay, people are actually starting to like know me as a person more.
yeah,
And like that's when it starts to get really in depth is
yeah.
like people are recognizing you yourself and not
Right.
just
The guy who won the Good Good Open.
a random video once a week.
Yeah,
Like people are constantly watching, right?
yeah,
So that was a big deal for me is seeing like constant gains. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't take full advantage of what I could have.
yeah,
A lot of things that happened that week were like very focused on what Ben did, which
yeah,
I completely understand. I'll tell you, he did hit a lot of like incredible golf shots,
yeah,
and a lot of things came from that like the carried aspect, which
yeah.
I'm fine with, dude. I don't care.
The one. Don't matter.
Exactly. We
Yeah, what's
won.
the
So
win?
it's like I was like, sure, we can go with that. And
Yeah,
then yeah. So that week after was like a big week for content and like really
yeah,
pushing it, and that's where like most of the growth came from.
yeah,
But now it's just like consistently seeing like people always being there in your
yeah,
content and like always being there for your content, and that's
yeah,
where you create like a community aspect. It was like
yeah,
when people start to get to know you, and
yeah,
that's what I noticed was the biggest thing. But yeah, it was a jump start to my career, and that's when I really was like, especially talking to behind the scenes like the entire Good crew, all the other big guys that were there,
Yeah.
like just realizing what they're doing and the potential that I could like jump forward with.
Yeah.
Um, that next week, I quit my golf team and I was like, all right, I'm putting all my time towards this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done. Um, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to find a way to make this something I can do full time, and then just go from there. And that was
Yeah.
like it was like a mindset change almost, where I
Yeah.
like there was a fence there, and then the fence I got over it, and
Yeah. No, I get it,
that's when
dude.
it all
And
started.
I mean, you're young, it's a learning experience. Like, no
Yeah,
one is
big time.
ready to ever handle any kind of like success. And I can speak on it just remotely. Like, I'm not saying I'm big time, but I've had some really, really cool and some really big guests from like a creative perspective. And like,
Oh yeah,
I wasn't ready to like put that type of content out. Like, my thumbnails were trash. Like, my fourth guest was Wesley Bryant. Like, I had no idea how to make a thumbnail, let alone make a good one. And
yeah.
it's like you're just not, and like you don't take advantage. You're not ready for it. But at the end of the day, it's a learning experience. You live and you learn. But like you said, it's still a really cool part of your career that like regardless of what people say on the internet, you're always gonna have trolls. Like, you experience that. No one can ever take that away from you. Regardless if you hit one shot, like you still won. That was still a really cool experience.
Mhm.
And you guys won money, right? I'm not crazy, am I? No, that was the next one. Okay, I
Tough
get them.
subject.
Sorry, I get them confused. I
We gave
digress.
Garrett a lot of shit for that, for not letting us get anything for that one and then putting
Yeah.
winnings on the next one.
Yeah, right. You guys won the wrong one.
Yeah.
No, man, that's cool. And I think you speak. I mean, it's just cool to hear. Like you said, you are growing as a creator, and there are learning curves that come with that. But at
Oh
the end
yeah,
of the day,
big time.
it's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Wilson deal and the Kisner clip. So like, from somebody who's never had a brand deal, like, how did that come about? Walk me through working with Wilson. What you love about working with them, and then we'll get into the Kisner clip at the actual shoot. I'm just curious. I want to ask you
Yeah.
about that clip in specific, but how was that?
Oh my gosh. We'll get into that. But
Yeah,
um the Wilson deal that I'm on is a full club deal, and it's the team that I work with, the Wilson marketing team, is like amazing. Such a
yeah,
family brand. It's like everybody loves the company. Everything is so like tightly knit
yeah,
that it's like just really cool to be a part of. And the stuff that they have coming in the future is like game changing. Like,
yeah,
it's so awesome. Like, could vault the brand to like an entirely different status level of like, it's so cool, so
yeah,
cool. But that deal came from just me naturally growing on Instagram, and they reached out to me through DM,
Oh
and
wow.
then got a conversation started. That was towards the time where I was kind of blowing up a little bit. I had a couple other conversations
Yeah,
with brands, and then Wilson was like the clear winner. And then
yeah,
um, everything since then has been incredible. Whether it's travel, um, like accommodations, clubs, balls, all that stuff is like
yeah.
just so cool. Like, I dreamed as a kid that I could maybe get some free balls one
Right,
day.
literally, no, literally, that's every kid's dream. Every
Oh my
every
gosh.
weekend golfer's dream is to get free golf balls and free
Oh
stuff.
my dude, you have
Yeah,
no idea. I've seriously, like, you could ask my dad, you could ask anybody that's known me since I was younger. I was like, I gotta get some free balls. I gotta
yeah,
get this. I gotta get that. Like, now
yeah,
I'm here and I'm like, holy crap, this is actually happening. And I
yeah,
don't want to take it for granted because I I love everything that Wilson's doing, and
yeah.
what they're going to do in the future. Um, it's just such a cool thing that anybody could like dream of happening, and then when it does, you're like, it pinch me, right?
No, I get it, dude. I
Yeah,
get it. My goal is to get one brand deal, whether it's a club deal, apparel
yeah,
deal, whatever. Like, it's a cool sign of growth for your brand that like people are interested in talking to you and like signing you. And like you said, it's really
yeah.
cool, and it's cool that like I used to sell way back in the day when I was like 20. This is gonna make me sound super old, but like I used to sell Wilson clubs when I worked at Golfsmith, like over in
Yeah.
Novi, Michigan, and I think his name was Pete something. Pete,
Yep, that's my man.
you know.
That's Pete right there.
Yeah, dude, shout out Pete, dude. Pete was
I
awesome.
love Pete.
I have an email, like, on God, I could search his name in my email and find an email he sent me like 8 years ago when I sold their clubs. Shout
Yeah.
out Pete. If you
Dude,
ever want to sponsor,
I was hanging out with Pete 2 weeks ago at Whistling Straits.
yeah, dude, yeah, I meant to
I
ask you.
love that man.
We'll talk about it. Pete Delano, right? Is that his name? Something like
I
that?
think that's his last name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, Dude, that's
Dude, what a guy.
hilarious.
What a guy.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. They obviously have some tour guys. Like they signed Kisner. I think
Yep.
they have Streelman. I don't know if he's still a Wilson guy or not.
Padrick, yeah.
And then I think they got a couple more. But
Um,
Gary Gary Woodland. Anyway, I
yeah,
digress.
Gary Woodland was on, and then Patrick Harrington.
Oh yeah, Patty.
He just
Yeah,
he just won last week.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
shout
For
out
sure.
Patty. I think
Oh
he
yeah.
follows my Instagram.
Yeah. Do you ever? Not side note. Did you see any of those guys at Warwick, like Patty? Did you ever get to hang out with him when they came over to
Oh,
Warwick?
at the Ally?
Yeah.
I don't think he was there this year.
Oh, he
But
wasn't.
yeah, because he wouldn't have known me then. But I know I've been going to the Buick Open since I was a
Yeah.
child, and I've been going to the Ally forever.
Yeah.
I volunteered there. I volunteered there like the first 3 or 4 years, and
Oh,
then
nice.
and then they signed me for content deal
Yeah, I saw that
this
Hell yeah.
year. So
That
yeah, it
was
was
sweet. Yeah.
pretty awesome.
You got to play
Yeah.
around with somebody, or somebody won around with you, right?
Yeah.
At Warwick? Hell yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome, dude. Anyway, let's talk about the Kisner clip. So if you
Oh.
guys don't know, um, we'll get the clip and we'll maybe try and post it with the episode. But
Yeah.
I'll set the scene. So like it looked like you guys were at a shoot. Kisner was trying to flop one over your head.
Yeah.
Your back was to him, and he
Yep.
basically bladed it into the back of your head. I mean, essentially. So tell me the
correct.
story behind that. Did you get a concussion? What was it like? What was it like after? I
Yeah,
need to hear the story.
So I have a very good point of view of this. So it's a very funny story the way I tell it. So content day we have like an hour, 2 hours with Kiz, right?
Yeah.
And Kiz is like the greatest guy ever. He's always been one of my favorite tour pros just because he's so genuine and so funny. But we head to this green that we're doing some chip shots around with the new wedges and stuff like that. And like somebody was like, we should do a flop shot. And I was like, all right, I'm the shortest one here. I guess Kiz can hit one over me. So if I were to go back and grab the clip from my camera or my cameraman's camera, the full clip, he hits one shot 4 feet left of me just to make sure he could do it, right?
Yeah.
And it was so far over my head, he would have had no problem.
Yeah.
But in the video, and I'm going to take a shot at Kiz here, he yipped it. It wasn't even close. Like when you're taking a flop shot, you don't to hit it over someone, you got to make sure you're either chunking it or you're missing it, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's so he yipped it and kind of this,
Yeah.
and it went off the blade into luckily the thickest part of my skull. And the sound that it made, you could play the sound over and over again because it's just so good.
Yeah.
So good. But that clip, the moment that I was hit, I heard a ringing.
Yeah.
And that's all I could hear. But you can hear in the clip, nobody is talking. It's dead silent. You hear the and then it's just dead silent. So I thought I lost my hearing. I was like, oh my God, I'm done for,
Yeah.
And I was so scared. And then I finally heard a faint, is he okay? From Kiz.
Is he dead?
And seriously, there couldn't have been a better person in the world to nail me in the back of the head because Kiz took it as a joke. We all laughed it off, and I was completely fine.
Yeah.
I put some ice on it. A
Yeah.
day or two went by, and the bump was gone. It
Nice.
was the crazy, whatever part of your cranium back here is the thickest part. That's what it hit, and it's I couldn't believe it because I thought for sure. I mean, a ball moving at 75, 80 miles an hour should give you a concussion.
Right.
But whatever part of my head that it hit, it didn't. I guess. So
Okay.
crazy.
Still walking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome story, man. So after the fact, was he did he give you any cash? Just maybe
No,
slide?
he gave me some. I had signed my head cover, all that stuff,
Nice.
and
That's cool.
I got him to I got in touch with him, and I think we're doing some stuff in the future, and
Nice.
yeah, he's just such a genuine dude.
Yeah.
The fact that we laughed it off the whole time. I think he had to go. He was a little bit afraid of what I would do if I realized it was worse than it was, type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got out of there quick and he was gone. But yeah, such a great dude and just
No, I
he'll
love
always have that memory. And now
it.
I'm stuck in Kiz's head.
Yeah,
Hopefully you'll tag him in this video and he'll comment on it. I'm
yeah.
that guy, Kiz. I know you remember me.
You should. And come on to the
Yeah.
podcast too. Kids, if you
Yeah.
see us trying to get Hoop his caddy on. I do a lot of the caddies. His caddy
Oh
follows
yeah.
me. His
Yeah, yeah.
caddy would be hilarious. So
Great
come
guy.
on,
Yep.
kids, if you clip into it, comment when I should get you on and
Yep.
and about Ashton's head. Let's talk a
He'll
little
remember me.
bit. Let's talk and transition a little bit about just a quick question I have before we get into something else. You kind of brought it up. Like, do you have any plans? Because you see a lot of the pros doing YouTube stuff. Obviously Bryson, but I mean even the PGA guys. Like you see Grant doing Tony Finau, Colin Morikawa. Like, do you see yourself like doing that type of stuff maybe down the line with the Kisner or with other Wilson guys as the YouTube and PGA Tour brands kind of mesh over the next year or so?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've kind of been brainstorming a little bit. Now, coming from myself who's not the best golfer in the scene, like I I more so want to like create like a learning series
Yeah,
almost where like I play people at that high level, Corn Ferry, PGA, Asian Tour, all that stuff, like at that high level where I can learn from them. Like my goal is to become the best golfer I can.
yeah,
Do I have aspirations to be pro? Probably not, because I've
right.
always thought of myself not to be good enough. I kind of like shut that switch off in my brain type of
Yeah,
thing.
that's fair.
But I still love playing good golf and I love the competitive aspect of all of
Yeah,
it. So I want to do something like that where
yeah,
it's more of a learning thing and
yeah,
me getting my butt whooped.
yeah.
Um, that
No,
I'm completely fine with. But
yeah, no, that's fair. I think one, it's cool because I think one, and you can probably speak to this better than I, but you always have to be adapting. Like obviously, the YouTube golf is growing, and
big time.
that's a good thing. But you also need to do things that separate yourself from. Like, no offense, like Garrett and those good guys, like they already have an established. Like, yes, they're going to keep growing, but they're already well established. Like, if you
Right.
want to continue to make it from even a small to, let's call it like a mid-sized creator to one of those big ones, like you always need to be adapting and changing your process and thinking of new stuff on how to get better. Like I've even thought
100%.
of that because like I play to a +1, so I'm decent. Play to a scratch most of my career, but not good enough. Like you said, I'm not. I know I'm not going pro, but I want to get to the best I can be.
Right.
And so I want to do the playing stuff, but it's very saturated. I don't have a full time camera guy, and I can't fucking edit. So like it's tough. But like even I'm thinking about stuff down the line of like stuff that I would like to do. Like I said, I do a lot of the interview with the PGA Tour caddies. Like I'd like to maybe do some stuff with them where like I play with them and get my ass kicked, or do stuff like that, or like where they caddy for me and learning that way. So I
Right.
like where your head's at. I think it's a cool idea what you're doing. Like you said, you just always got to be brainstorming. That was kind of my next question is like, how do you like get better? Like, how are you brainstorming new content and like, how does that like process work for you from that perspective?
I'm sure a lot of creators, whatever space you're in, can agree with me like this. Or I know a lot of I was a business major before. I know a lot of like business owners do this too. Of like my brainstorming spot is the midnight to 4 a.m. where I lay in bed and my mind never stops spinning. Right. If
Yeah,
I think of something, I'll write it down. Like last night, for example, I like thought of this idea to like hit a ball through like a small area and like
yeah,
try and see if I can do it type of thing. And like I'll write it down, go do it tomorrow, that type of thing. Like
yeah,
it's literally just my mind constantly going that like if I have something that like really sticks out, I'll write it down. So I just
yeah,
have kind of like a list of things
yeah,
that I don't even know if they'll ever see the light of day, but like maybe, I don't
yeah.
know, if I have nothing, right?
Right.
But it's a very difficult thing to constantly be coming out with new exciting um, content, and it's probably one of the biggest struggles is like if you don't have, especially for YouTube, like if you don't have an idea for a thumbnail,
Yeah.
there's no reason to make the video, right?
Literally.
If you don't
Yes.
have
1000%.
if you don't have like an idea that backs up a crazy thumbnail, like there's no reason to do it. Like
Right.
it all comes down to like how much your brain can use all of its horsepower to
Yeah.
really put something together type of
Oh.
thing. But that's where all my idea generation comes from. It's
Yeah.
like I said, it might be horrible. I have a
No.
horrible sleep schedule because of it,
No.
but
Dude,
I
I
lay in
get it.
bed for hours and just my mind is spinning.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
dude, it's the AD. It's I mean I don't know if you put it on the chair, but I have ADHD. Like I'm the
Yeah.
same way. Like when I was your age, like when I was in college, and I'm a little older than you. I'm not saying I'm a grandpa, but like when I was in college, dude, my sleep schedule was screwed. Like it was I was up till 4 or 5 a.m. You know,
Yep.
even now. I mean, I am older now, so I do go to bed a little earlier. But like even going back like a year ago, where like I would be up from 12 to 3. Like that's not unheard of. So I get that. And like it's funny you said it because I struggle to shut it off. Like for me, I'm so obsessed with this now that I'm doing it and I'm getting some traction. Like I'll go like if I think of a question for like an interview, I'll map out the entire interview. Like it won't stop at one. Like I'm going through the entire like okay, I'm asking
Yeah.
this, and like so I get it, man. And that is very relatable to me. And like you said, you have to be learning thumbnails. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You always got to be adapting. But
Yeah.
it's cool. I can get to the the 12 a.m. because that was me, and it still can be from time to time.
Dude, but I don't even want to speak on it. It's so bad, dude.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll be up till 5 or 6 in the morning. My parents are waking up. I'm
yeah,
still, whether it's editing or laying in my bed, just
yeah,
doing nothing type of thing. Like
yeah,
not nothing, but like just kind of just thinking kind of thing. And
yeah. No, I get it.
it's horrible for me, but I mean that's my life.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the content and brainstorm behind it. Let's talk a little bit about some of the content you've made. You've obviously been doing long form, like I said, short form for a
Yeah.
longer time now. Like, talk me through some of your favorite content that you made. Whether it's could be a TikTok or it could be a short form or it could be even just a chasing summer video, and then we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah. I think like I said, I love doing the long form stuff. So
Yeah.
all the chasing summer stuff, I actually found that it was a lot harder to do. Like my goal was 20 courses in a summer. Um, I got nowhere close because it was so
Yeah.
much harder. Like I'll completely lay that on the line and be like, if anybody was waiting for me to do all 20, I don't have them because I overworked myself
Yeah.
basically, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do now. So because I don't have a cameraman, I have maybe a part-time one if he's available type of thing,
Yeah.
but he's halfway across the state, so it's like very difficult to deal with. But
Yeah.
like that entire content series was like, okay, I got to do more planning when I get
Yeah.
into a situation like this, whether it's planning of having a full-time editor or full-time cameraman, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I love that aspect of it, and I want to have my life be like that, where it's like planned out, whether I'm working on something for like a winter, doing something, but like
Yeah.
that's what I enjoy doing is the long form content. Just because 18 holes at a beautiful golf course, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on a Michigan summer day, it's like so good.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
then short form wise, like some of the best stuff that I do that I enjoy doing that I actually don't do often is like the day in the life stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I love lifestyle content. That's actually what I consume like second most on my list behind golf content.
Yeah.
Um, like I was big into like vloggers, like travel vloggers and that kind of stuff. So I love the idea of like incorporating that into golf content.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I think I have a more interesting life than I do, but but
No,
it's
it's
like
cool.
it's so much fun for me. Like I can
Yeah.
I can incorporate whatever I do in a day, whether it's playing COD, like
Yeah.
anything, like Rocket League, like it's so
Yeah.
cool. What I eat in a day, who
Right.
cares? But that's what I do.
Oh, it's cool, and you've seen a lot of more of the like the speaking of like not to gas up the J&A guys even more, but into they're
Yeah,
kind of doing the fall series, kind of what you did in the summer of kind of
yeah,
showing off. They just did the Bay Harbor video yesterday, Arcadia. Like
right.
they're incorporating more of that vlogging stuff into their video, and if you watch them for a while, like they didn't do that before, so adapting that, and I think it's cool. I think more people enjoy it than you think. I think you'd be good at it. Like I think you should definitely maybe do some more of that type of stuff into your own channel. I think you'd
Yeah,
be good at it, and I know you've done it on your Instagram. I'm not huge on TikTok, so it just is what it is.
yeah.
Obviously from Instagram, but I think it's really cool type of content that you do from a long form perspective. What's been like? Obviously, you did the Micah match. You've done some matches with Grant. You're doing good. What's been your kind of favorite long form video that you made? It could even be just like you said, a course that you did this summer.
My favorite one that I've done is um Bay Harbor.
Yeah,
I did Bay Harbor about 6 weeks ago.
yeah, That video is awesome. You should watch it, by the way. A lot of birdies.
Yeah, a lot of birdies. A lot of birdies that round. It was
Yeah.
actually probably one of my most this summer.
Yeah.
And it was like the day was, or the first half of the day was like pretty much horrible, like as bad as it could get.
Yeah.
Because me and my cameraman kept joking that like this is the first time this course has ever been seen on YouTube, like,
Yeah.
and it still doesn't want to be seen type of thing, where it's like the course, the Mother Nature took over in us literally not being able to show off that golf course because
Yeah.
it is absolutely stunning. Probably the prettiest golf course I think in Michigan.
Oof.
Arcadia is as good as it is. I know I haven't played it yet, but like I give it the number one spot in my opinion,
Yeah.
just because like I enjoy. And this is the reason I loved Whistling Straits so much. Is like I enjoy courses that play with the water rather than
Yeah.
to the water. Like Arcadia goes to the water and then back and then to the water and back.
Yeah.
I would rather have something that's like
Alongside it.
type
Yeah.
of thing, like Pebble Beach or
Yeah.
Whistling Straits, like that kind of thing. That's what I enjoy. That's why it's my number one. But
Fair
like
enough. Yeah.
I also want to play Gray Wall. I know that one is
Yeah,
incredible.
I've never done that one either.
Um,
Ironically never done Bay Harbor. I've done Arcadia, obviously biased, just played there.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm the opposite. I like hitting out towards the water. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, to each his own. But no, it's interesting to hear you say that. But it makes sense. Like I said, I've never done Bay Harbor. I've heard good things, but
Yeah.
that's cool, man. That video was awesome, by the way.
Yeah. It was great,
Oh, I
but
kind of screwed you.
dude, oh my god. I've never played so the specific clip, I've never played golf to the point where I literally can't see 10 feet in front of me. Like I think it's the 12th hole,
Yeah.
maybe the 13th. I think it's the 12th hole that I hit a shot into the green that I couldn't see leave the club face.
That's
When
wild.
we got up there, it was 2 feet from the hole. I was like,
Awesome.
nobody's gonna believe me, but
Yeah.
okay. I guess I made birdie here, but it's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that before. And the whole time, like I love flying the drone, I love
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. I couldn't get it in the air because
Yeah.
you couldn't see anything. It was so
yeah.
bad.
And then you risk losing the drone.
Exactly. Like
those
you
are
can't get it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's transition a little bit more into Michigan golf. Like, what are your like? I guess let's touch on like what are your opinions on Michigan as a golf state. What are some of your favorite courses in the state? Obviously, the Chasing Summer, and if you've done some of those, maybe some ones that you didn't do on there that you like playing, and then we'll do the rapid fires. Then we'll get you out. And we'll get you out of here.
I think Michigan is one of, if not the best
Yeah,
state for golf.
I agree.
And it is so sucky that we only get 5 months, 6
Yeah.
months of it. And
Yeah.
it's the worst thing. And I wish so bad that like the big creators would actually like come up here to us, because I think the general public would enjoy a golf course like that so much. Like
Yeah.
Wesley Bryant and George played like the tightest golf course ever, the one with the trees
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah.
And like that's all Michigan golf courses. They're all covered in trees. If you go 5 feet into the or 5 yards into the rough, you're in trees that are 8 inches apart from each other. Like it's like that's how it is. And it's I think Michigan golf, tall trees and pretty colors is like as good as it gets.
Yeah, we just we just did the Nightmare, which I know you did for your Chasing Summer series.
Yeah.
I mean, we did it. I did it 3 weeks ago. I mean, dude, it is
Beautiful.
dude, I got some drone shots like up above. I mean, the colors, just the aesthetic for miles. And the cool thing is, like yes, you have a lot of those golf courses like the Dream, the Nightmare. There's a couple like lower key ones like that are like up north at the Boyne courses. But then you get the Arcadias where it's like, dude, it's just heaven. Like you're just out there for miles, and you got Bay Harbor, you got all these courses on the water.
Yep.
And like I agree with you 100%. I think it is the best golf state. Don't at me in the comments. That's not a hot take. If you've never
No, it's
played
not.
Michigan golf, you wouldn't understand. I think there's more golf courses in Michigan than most states. There's even like down where I'm at, like in the Detroit area, like there's a bunch of great private golf courses down here that people don't even know about, like Meadowbrook or like all these great golf courses that are down here. And I agree. I think
I love
Michigan.
Meadowbrook, by the way.
You've played Meadowbrook?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah. So you have played some courses down here. Yeah, so Meadowbrook's awesome. Like, there's so many good like I was just at a Dearborn Country Club yesterday. It's an older course, Donald Ross style, tree line, like your classic style course. Like, dude, there's so much good golf here in Michigan. I
Yeah.
agree. I think that's part of the reason one why I wanted to start doing my channel was to do showcase more on Michigan golf.
Right.
It's cool to see you obviously doing it. The J&A guys are doing it. There isn't a ton of creators in the space, and that's cool for us because more views for us. But
Yeah.
also, I wish they could shine more light on the state, and it's cool to see you guys doing it. Like I said, the J&A guys doing it. But hopefully, with them being a good, maybe a good week Michigan next year, maybe a good Michigan Open,
I'd love
something.
it.
Yeah,
I'd love it,
we
dude.
we challenged. I challenged a couple guys, the good guys, some matches. Hopefully, we'll get them out here and do some matches with you
Yeah,
guys. Get
nobody
everyone.
wants to. It's the worst thing because nobody wants to make the trip up here. Like
Yeah,
it's so hard
yeah,
to get somebody to come up here, but the moment they do, they love
it's the
it.
best. Yeah.
Like it's so awesome to play out here because I don't know. Maybe
No,
I'm
I
biased.
agree. I
Maybe I'm
agree,
biased,
dude.
but it's like I
No,
love it.
I'm biased too. And John and Ashton said the same thing. Even Garrett, like Garrett did Arcadia Bluffs video, and he said like
Yeah,
that was like his favorite course of all time. With something that him and Grant wanted to do, which
yeah,
it speaks volumes for Michigan golf. Speaking of challenges, I meant to do this earlier. I'll issue the challenge. Let's do a match. If we don't get it in this year, obviously we can do it next year. We both played at scratches. I'm hopefully
yeah.
doing more playing stuff. But we'd love to do it with you, man. We'd love to get around in. I'm a pretty competitive guy, so if we ever do
I
the
would love
chance,
that.
I'll issue the challenge. Let's get it done.
I would love that. Just got
Hell
some
yeah.
new sticks, so I'm gonna have to take you down.
Hell yeah, dude. We can do a 2v2 or something. My buddy kind of is helping me with the editing side of stuff, so I do have a partner. So if we ever going to get a 2v2,
Yeah, what's his handicap?
he's like a +2. So I played to
Oh,
currently a plus. I'm a +0.08 right now. I think
okay.
he's like a +2.1.
Yeah, I just say I'm scratch. I haven't kept a handicap in like 4 years.
That's
So,
fair. That's fair. I
so
think
I
that's fair.
I'll shoot 69,
Yeah.
70, or I'll shoot 81. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. No, I get it. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
you're obviously a very good golfer. But what are your like top? Let's go top 5 Michigan golf courses. It doesn't have to be big. It could be like
Okay.
ones that
Yeah.
are maybe closer to heart for you, and then we'll do the rapid fires.
Yeah. Warwick Hills, number one.
Classic. Yep.
I grew up there. If you didn't know.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think I knew you were. I knew you. I think you worked there. I didn't know you grew up on that course.
yeah. That's so. I told you that junior league that I was in
Yeah.
that I played five times a summer. It was at Warwick Hills.
Oh, cool, cool.
That was like where I got into golf, where I
Yeah.
learned golf, that type of thing. So that holds a special place in my heart. And then Bay Harbor, number 2. I just loved that golf course. It helped that I
Yeah.
played well.
Right.
Um,
Always does.
Bucks Run. Do you know
Yeah.
that course?
Another good one. I haven't played
Yeah.
it. But seen good things. Yeah, heard good things about it.
It was like rebuilt recently, and it's amazing. I love it. Like just the layout and everything is so good. A couple gimmicky holes, but like I still really enjoy just like I said, I enjoy tall trees with like
Yeah.
no rough, right?
For
That's
sure.
that's how I like it. And then so that was 3. Let's go with Red Hawk. You ever played Red Hawk?
No, I haven't, but heard good
Oh,
things.
just so good.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
So good. And then for my last one I'll go Oakland Hills North.
Nice.
So I played Oakland Hills North in the Michigan Am
Okay.
like 2 or 3 years ago,
Nice.
and I think it was 2 years ago. And I basically I came in second to last place, and I shot 87 the first day and 84 the next day.
Yeah.
And that course chewed me up and spit me out a completely different person. Like
Yeah.
it was so difficult. The rough was cut at like 6 inches or something
Yeah.
like that. And it was so thick. 'Cause you know, Michigan rough, if it gets
Right.
long, it's
Oh yeah.
deadly, right?
Yep.
And greens were rolling at like a 14. I think I hit like 4 fairways all week, is, which is,
Death.
which is like not normal for me because my
Yeah.
driver is the best club in the bag.
Yeah.
But like for some reason I didn't have it, but I shot 69 to get into the qualifier, so I wasn't going to take crap from anybody who didn't make
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So
And props to you for owning it.
yeah,
Like you said, people want to chirp her for shooting 87.
Oh,
screw
dude,
you.
I'll
I
never lie
made it.
about a score. I'll
I
never
made
lie
it.
about a score.
Yeah, I mean, it is what I'll own it. It is what like you're there to post a score. Like people, not to go off on a tangent. The handicap system is screwed. Like people think just because you're a scratch, you're like, oh, I shoot like 72. It's like, nah, dude. Like I can shoot 85 with the best of them
Yeah.
regularly. Like
Yep.
it's not.
I
It's
shot.
not.
What I tell you? Against Micah, I shot 83.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Literally, that's so
Yeah.
funny. You told me at the airport, you're like, dude, this could be a bad video.
And it
Own it,
did
man.
well. It did well on my
Yeah.
channel, but like,
Yeah. Who cares, man?
I don't care.
With Micah, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? It's
I
what it
don't care.
is. Cool, man. I could talk all day. This has been really fun. Thank you for jumping on. This has been super
Of
cool.
course.
All right, rapid fire. Favorite golf course.
Warwick Hills,
Okay. Nicest golf course you've ever played.
Whistling Straits,
Favorite golfer.
Justin Thomas.
Okay. Any other favorites? I'm curious why JT. Just because you.
JT, because I model my swing after him.
Oh, for real?
He's also
Cool.
I just like him as a person.
Yeah.
I love his like fiery energy in every
Yeah.
Ryder Cup that he plays in.
Yeah.
And his swing to me is like as good as it gets. That
Yeah.
It's either that or Aberg.
Okay.
He's another one of my new favorites climbing up the list.
His swing
So
is terrible. Favorite creator. Doesn't have to be golf.
I think right now it would probably be Luke Kwan.
Okay. Yeah, he's been good.
Dude, he is absolutely killing it. Like
Yeah.
his content is next level, like everybody else, and he is just doing a great job.
Yeah.
And he's
I
also
know.
hilarious when he plays with his buddies. So
Yeah, with Taco. And it's good
yeah,
to see him.
Taco and Sam.
Not
Dude,
that.
Sam is so funny to me. I don't know why. Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
Not to take a shot at Good. I mean, obviously, I'm a good guy. I'm a good kid. I think him leaving Good was probably better for him. I feel like he's one of those where, like, yes, you got to keep it family friendly, but you
Yeah.
also like got to be authentic. And I feel like not that he could be himself. I think he can be more of his authentic self now that he's not in Good.
Right. I agree with that. And I think the people that have left Good in the past had their reasons. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, all of them ended up doing pretty well on themselves.
And
So it's
Good's
like,
still, and they're still boys. Like Good is still moving, and those guys are still friends.
Yeah.
Right? Is
Yeah.
what it is.
yeah, the Luke Kwan, I think, though, is just doing such a great job.
For sure.
Yeah. Great dude.
Coolest golf moment on camera, and it could be, I guess, getting the trophy from Garrett because that technically was on camera.
I think it is. Yeah. I'll take that.
For sure.
I'll take that, and I'll take dude, what is it? The 18th hole at Bay Harbor. Or no, sorry, not the 18th. The par 3. What's the par 3?
Number. I don't
Is it
know.
9?
Yeah, 9. Yeah, 9.
I don't think it is. I don't know. It's the par 3 that I posted on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I love that video because you can hear the ball like whistling through the wind,
Yeah.
and then I hit it to like a foot or like 2-3 feet and missed the putt. So
Story of every scratch golf ever, baby.
so good, dude. I missed it and I was like, oh my God, dude, it's so bad.
Coolest golf moment off camera.
I honestly haven't had many, dude. I don't have a hole in one.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
have, I don't have many, but probably making the national championship.
Okay.
For 3 years in a row at my college, at my
Nice.
community college. Probably like my second shot on Micah's channel.
Okay.
I don't even need a mulligan. I just need to fix my rangefinder before I get there. So I have the Precision Pro rangefinders.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but it's not easy to change it into meters. Like you have to like hold the button for like 5 seconds and like do all this stuff,
Remember this.
like double
I
click
forgot
it or
about-
whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the first hole, I looked through my rangefinder. It says 163. I didn't look at the meters.
Yeah.
I've never changed it in my life. So obviously that's like 185 yards or something like that. I grab 8-iron, I flush it, and it comes up short. It's like just left of the pin, and it would have been great if it was the number. And it comes up like 40 yards short, like short of a bunker. So I have a short-sided chip on a tight lie in Florida, and I'm like, all right, I'm boned. I'm making double on the first hole.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my mulligan. Because I think if I make bogey or par there, I think I play a lot better that day.
Settle the nerves a
Because
little
now
bit.
I'm double. Now I'm fighting, and then
Right.
I'm like, okay,
And
this
it's
is
stroke
over.
play tile video too, which is
Yeah,
always tough.
which he got me there.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest things that like got me was on the first tee. We didn't discuss it before. Camera is on. He goes match play or stroke, and I go match, I guess. And he goes, oh no, we're playing stroke. I was
Oh
like, oh,
no.
of course, dude. Okay, you want to ruin my career? I guess let's do it
Yeah.
right now.
Favorite video you've ever made and
Um, I feel like I'm gonna keep coming back to the Bay Harbor one.
Harbor. No, all good.
Something about it was so special with
Yeah.
like what I shot, the golf course, and like I said, I've been wanting to play that golf course since I was a child, and
Yeah.
like I've heard about it. I've never actually played it. I've never even been on the like. I've only seen it from. So I don't know if you know Bay Harbor, but I've only seen it from Bay Harbor.
I've
Like,
never played it. I've only seen it from the
so
video.
Bay Harbor is a city, and then
Yeah.
there's like a cove with like a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah. I
boats
got
and stuff in
engaged
it.
up in Petoskey, so I've just never
Oh
been to
yeah,
the course
yeah, yeah, yeah.
itself.
So like from some of the restaurants that me and my family have gone to, you can see Bay Harbor
Yeah.
like on the cliffs in the background.
Background,
So I
yeah.
was like, one day I'm gonna play that golf course,
Yeah.
and sure enough, I played it and I played well, and I think that was a really big moment for me. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Biggest creator role model. Do you have one?
Role model.
It's not even a role model. Someone who maybe has been super helpful to your career that maybe you haven't really talked about, or
Sam Jagoda.
okay,
Do you know
okay.
Sam Jagoda?
Oh, I don't. Who's that?
Okay, Sam Jagoda is like strictly short form content.
Okay.
Um, I like reached out to him when I had like 20 or 30K on TikTok. He had like
Yeah.
150. He does like all the just like challenges and stuff on
Yeah.
social media. He's probably got like across all platforms like
Yeah.
600, 700,000 followers or something like that.
Okay.
I like reached out to him and I was like, "Hey dude, you seem to be doing great. Like what's your biggest tip?" And I was like, he said to me, "You have to develop something different about yourself from others." The next day I put mayor of Tempo Town in my bio because that's what
Yeah.
people were calling me at the time, and
Right.
that's when I rolled with it, and
Yeah.
things literally took off. And I talked to him all the time. He was
That's
like
awesome.
the start of like what was happening.
That's awesome.
I don't know why he came to mind. I haven't talked to him in a
Oh,
while,
that's awesome
but
though.
he's such a great dude. And like I went out to Arizona, like my first trip ever as a creator and
Yeah.
with the business was to Arizona to hang out with Melosi and spend time with Sam and Nick Delfico and all those
Yeah,
guys.
I know Nick.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
That's awesome, man. All right, man. Best round. Last one.
Best round of my life.
Yeah, best round. Not necessarily lowest score, but maybe like your best personal round that you feel
Uh-huh.
stands out.
I shot 30. No, 31. 31 in practice in college. And it didn't mean anything. I had to leave because it was dark. But
Yeah,
like
classic.
I shot 31 and
Yeah.
then I didn't finish 18 holes. So
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know why that came to me real quick, but like
No.
that's my lowest 9-hole score
Yeah.
ever. I've never recorded anything lower than a 33, but it was still just so much fun because it's one of those days where you feel like your ball striking's good, like you
Yeah.
can't miss a putt. I made like a 40, 50 footer on the last hole and make eagle to go 5 under. So it was pretty
Nice.
sweet.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's the mayor of Tempo Town, Mr. Ashton Gaulin himself. Before we sign off, man, first of all, thank you so much for joining. This has been an awesome conversation.
Yeah.
Loved having you on. Looking forward to getting it out there. Any sign off messages? Anything you want to plug? Obviously, we'll plug your socials, but anything at all, man, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love coming on podcasts, and especially someone who's local to me that kind of
Yeah.
knows the story. I love podcasts because I don't get my personal self out there, so I appreciate you for having the platform for me to be able to do that. So, hopefully, some people got to know me a little bit more and
Yeah,
got to know you
absolutely.
maybe, and yeah,
Loved it.
I
Open invite to
appreciate it
come
a
on
lot.
whenever, dude. Michigan
Yeah,
guy, just shoot me a DM whenever you
yeah,
want to come on. We'll maybe do another one. Obviously, want to get more guys on, but yeah, dude, Michigan, especially because how we met. This is obviously
yeah,
6 months in the making, guys. But
right.
that's Ashton Golan, guys. Follow him on Instagram. We'll link all that in the description. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to my channel. It's another episode of the Scratch Golf Show, guys. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Margo.